Today we're talking about the feud of Rafizi Ramli and Ariz Ramli, who are totally not sapoops, although some people might actually think that they are. It's been like a whole storm of news about SPRM and also Rafizi Ramli, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Let's start right here. Don't forget to join our Discord. The link is in the description down below.
Anyways, so di sini Cap nak first of all, in the spirit of Ramadan, I want to say sorry to Rafizi Ramli jika kita terguris hati dia ataupun buat dia terasa. As you guys know in the media.
All right, what is going on right over here? The guy that you saw earlier is Ariz Ramli, otherwise known as Caprice Daddy Cap. So he is basically a rapper who I don't even know if he makes music at all, kind of thing, or if he just like spends the majority of his time just like trying to buka things left, right, front, and center. But either way, he makes all these different videos, right, on the Munafik Hunter channel. I mean, like the guy basically has like all these videos like right over here, and you can see right now the subject of the feud. The subject of the feud, yet again, right over here. And basically, all of this, right, it started over this little experience right here, which goes like this.
Rafizi Ramli versus Tan Sri Azam Baki SPRM Malaysia. What is going on? Bagi Caprice, ni pendapat peribadi. For the past 3-4 months, tak boleh nafikan kepada semua kaki tangan SPRM, they have been doing a damn good job. Dari case MINDEF ke, case NGO yang scam ke, MINDEF ke, call center ke, SPRM has been doing a damn good job. Tapi bak kata orang tua, tak ada angin, tak ada ribut. And I'll be honest, I used to be a fan of Rafizi Ramli and his company Invoke. Satu masa dulu, syarikat Rafizi Ramli, Invoke was like my idola. At one point, I wanted to be like Invoke. You were my idola. Kita ada terima satu maklumat dari seorang whistleblower yang mengatakan Rafizi Ramli ni 2 kali 5.
Alright, for those of you who don't know what dua kali lima is, it basically means that you are the same as everybody else. The suggestion here is that, in fact, you are corrupt. You are taking part in drinking the Kool-Aid. Now, he's not saying that Rafizi Ramli is like that, but he is suggesting that somebody went ahead and told him about that. So, interesting to note. Anyway, so let's continue.
Let me just break it down to you, Malaysia. Waktu Rafizi Menteri Ekonomi, he oversaw a direct nego punya project awarded to Intramas direct nego. Waktu tu, dia punya CEO is this guy, Mr. Lee Chu-bu. This was the award ceremony. That is you, Menteri Ekonomi, and that is Mr. Lee Chu-bu. The bigger problem here in Malaysia is Mr. Lee Chu-bu ni pernah ada saham dalam syarikat Invoke. Macam mana ni guys? The CEO of Intramas yang dah umum dapat projek beratus juta waktu hang Menteri Ekonomi sebenarnya pernah pegang saham dalam company Invoke. In your company. Mr. Lee Chu-bu pernah pegang saham in your company Invoke. What is going on? Kalau kita buka SSM, Mr. Lee Chu-bu pegang 300,000 saham and you pegang 3.3 juta saham in Invoke.
Whoa, snap, snap, snap. Yeah, so interestingly enough, right, I can actually validate this. And it's kind of like for a sad reason because today I kind of like wasted 35 ringgit. No, I kid you not, like I actually wasted 35 ringgit right here because and that's why I know, right? Okay. What he showed earlier is not actually a calculation of like how many shares you actually have, right? It's a change of shareholding, like how the shareholding actually change over the course of a time period. It's not like a measure of like how many shares you actually have. But anyway, so yeah, anything for the content.
Malaysia, isn't this a conflict of interest?
Isn't this a conflict of interest? Ooh. Remember that wording.
Ekonomi dan kawan baik hang Mr. Lee Chubu pun dapat kontrak. Isn't this a classic conflict of interest? Rafizi Ramli, adakah ini benar? Mr. Lee Chubu.
Isn't this a classic conflict of interest? Isn't this a classic conflict of interest? Well, yeah. But anyway, so the response, right, has been pretty interesting, I would say. Yeah, he responded on like Yang Berhenti Menteri. I randomly appeared on episode number 9 of that podcast. But anyway, yeah. So if you actually like think about this right here, there's a direct response from Rafizi who basically says, hey, this allegation, right, that there's a conflict of interest actually doesn't make sense. So they are deep in the thick of it, which is why we have the questionable privilege, right, of seeing this good old-fashioned video right over here. Let's listen in to what he's saying.
Cap dah banyak handle macam-macam case from podcast bersama GISB, isu PU Azman, isu Ustaz Budak.
It's, by the way, like, yes, he does have a sort of like Pelat accent right there, and everybody is mocking him. Look at the comments, the way that like people are just casually, well, mocking the guy at the moment. Anyway.
I do this almost every day. Whatever aduan yang sampai dekat pihak kita, kita akan selidik dulu. We always check the facts before we post any posting. Alright?
So earlier today, at around 2:30 PM macam tu, kita dah hantarkan satu melalui email lah, satu notis tuntutan terhadap Yang Berhormat untuk antara lain menarik balik postingnya. Itu yang pertama. Kedua,
by posting, by the way, so what that refers to is actually Rafizi Ramli's posting, right? That basically responds to this idea. And in that posting, he's basically saying, yo, like, it's not true that I was involved in this alleged 2.5 billion scandal, which, of course, Aris right here, or Caprice, kind of like disputes, but because he says that, hey, there's no way that I mentioned like 2.5 billion or anything like that. And I think it's kind of like worth having a look at. By the way, I'm just curious, right? Who here is on Team Rafizi and who here is on Team Caprice? Let's go right here and ask the question. Are you on Team Rafizi or are you on Team Caprice? All right. Rafizi, and then Caprice, and then neither. Neither. Great, yeah. All right, so that's going to be running throughout the course of the entire day right there. So yeah, we have like some comments right here from, well, Green Container can't stand Caprice, especially when he started pronouncing certain words in Utaga slang. Trying to emulate Pancharama Ustaz types to sound like he is down to earth. Yeah, I don't know. That guy probably studied like in an international school or something like that. The way that he speaks Malay is like not like a typical Malay at all. Like, I don't know, maybe it's like American culture or anything like that. But bro, kau kenal tak orang Melayu yang cakap macam Caprice? Like, it's very rare, you know, like I don't actually hear any Malay people that I know of speaking like that. Like, it's just not a thing. Anyway, so yeah, like the posting, right, that the guy is referring to, you can find it on like Rafizi Ramli's YouTube channel. And by the way, you can actually also find this podcast, right, from YBM 36, where he talks about this entire issue in a little bit more depth right there. But yeah, so like the video that you're going to be looking for right here, the one that these guys are asking to get removed is basically this one right over here.
Loss kononnya Rafizi terbabit kes rasuah 2.5 bilion ringgit.
Yeah, so like there's no actual mention of like Rafizi being involved in a 2.5 billion ringgit case by Caprice. But if you've been doing any reading or if you have like any awareness, right, of like what's been actually going on in the news recently, you would know that basically Rafizi is going after Azam Baki at the moment for a whole bunch of different things. Namely, for example, his 800,000 ringgit shareholding way over the legally allowed limit, which is like 100k ringgit. I don't know if you know, but like there are literally protests that are ongoing by a whole bunch of different people. And you can see this right here.
Demanding Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim to fulfill its electoral promises to the people by cleaning up the institutions, in particular the Anti-Corruption Commission, by first removing the head, Nizam Baki, following the shareholding scandal.
I'm not against the MACC because MACC. Number two, composition of the committee.
Yep. So this is what's happening at the moment, right? So then when Rafizi is kind of like responding to all of that, right? He is responding in an awareness of that context. So like there's a whole like discussion right now about how Rafizi is going to be like investigated by the SPRM, and basically they are going to be raiding him. So like, is there an actual connection between like the things that Rafizi has been saying recently, which do involve Azam Baki, and like he's actually getting investigated? But anyway, so here we are in the middle of this little press conference, right?
Memadamkan semua posting-posting tersebut.
All right, let's start from there again.
Email lah satu notis tuntutan terhadap Yang Berhormat untuk antara lain menarik balik postingnya. Itu yang pertama. Kedua, memadamkan semua posting-posting tersebut dan menghentikan apa-apa penyataan yang fitnah terhadap Caprice. Itu yang kedua. Dan ketiga,
oh, whoa. So now you're saying that Rafizi Ramli is fitnahing you. Okay, that's very interesting.
memohon satu public apology atas dasar pernyataan-pernyataan yang telah diberikan oleh Caprice tadi lah. So essentially we are just saying stop. There was no mention of rasuah. There was no mention of 2.5 billion. All that was raised was an issue of conflict of interest, and please answer. That was what he stated in his video, and this letter has been sent. I can confirm now, sekarang ni belum ada lagi response daripada Yang Berhormat. I would reckon that a response is coming, tapi kita minta dia bagi satu jawapan quickly, and kita ada suruh.
Bro, what is with this lawyer? Bagi satu jawapan quickly? Bro, what? Bagi satu jawapan quickly? Bro, I mean, bagi jawapan dengan segera. Bro, I am Chinese and I can say segera. Why do you have to say like bagi satu jawapan quickly? What is this, bro?
Dia tarik balik dia punya dan padamkan semua posting-posting ni sebelum pukul 5 PM hari ini. So that's up to him lah. Failing which, we intend to file legal proceedings against Yang Berhormat.
Last but not least, kepada Rafizi Ramli, if you're watching this video, this is bulan puasa. Kalau boleh janganlah drag Caprice. Do not drag me dalam this political punya warfare. I call it political warfare sebab hari ni tak menafikan macam-macam tengah bergalut dekat bidang politik, tentang Bersatu ke, PKR ke, Madani ke, Pembangkang ke, macam-macam is happening. Do not drag nama Caprice all the way to the front, and then itulah I become the new bahan untuk politik Malaysia hari ni. I hope you can look inside of you, Rafizi Ramli. If you're watching this video, I hope that you look inside of you. We are the same. Nama Ariz Ramli, nama dia Rafizi Ramli.
Wow. For those of you who started watching just recently, yeah, like these people are not supposed. We would hope so though. I mean, like, wouldn't that be funny?
Mak bapak lain, we're the same. Rafizi suka soal dan ulas, Caprice pun suka soal dan ulas. There's no difference between me and FMT ke, Utusan ke, TV3 ke, blogger ke. There's no difference. We are only doing our part to question and to report. And I enjoy my job. I enjoy my job. Tak kisah siapa kita punya apa? Kita punya.
There is a slight difference though. I mean, if you think about it, right? So what Caprice did, right, is not exactly the same as what an FMT reporter would typically be doing. So like this is actually a video, right? It has been published on social media, distributed to a very wide audience. Now we don't know exactly like how many people have liked it right here. And given that it's like, you know, like at this point, right? Like 100 plus likes on average for like some of the top comments right there, it's pretty reasonable to think that like it could be like, I don't know, like in the thousands of people who have actually seen this already, right? So like why is that different from like what an FMT journalist asks? Like when a journalist asks questions, right? Like they're looking for like specific things in order to actually like synthesize into an article, right? To actually like create like a piece that is going to be based on like their research. But if you're making a video right there and then you're spreading it out to the public, right? Then that's a little bit different right there. Like people are going to start thinking like, oh, you know, you asked the question, right? So then like, isn't that like an indication that maybe like there is some legitness to that claim? Yeah. But anyway, so
Punya issue, tapi I really enjoy my job. And apa yang Cap nak sampaikan hari ni, niat Caprice tak pernah nak jatuhkan siapa-siapa. Kepada Rafizi Ramli, Cap mohon maaf sekali lagi Rafizi. It was a fair question, Rafizi. Please don't summon me. You know, I have so many summons. You guys know me, guys. We have so many summons. I hope you don't summon me. I hope that kita boleh apa in this.
Yeah, I think that's kind of too late. I mean, that is basically already going. It is jalaning. I'm sorry. You're gonna get summoned, Caprice. So, yeah.
Spirit of Ramadan as a fellow Muslim. I hope kita boleh sama-sama rapatkan saf and baiki isu ni.
I don't see what having the same religion has to do with any of this. I mean, like, if you like need to fight, then you need to fight. I don't think being part of the same faith has anything to do with it.
Kalau boleh, you guys know I love my country. My dad was a diplomat, Wisma Putra. I memang
that
sayang
makes
my
sense.
country. Apa yang
I memang sayang my country and okay. You know what? No comment.
kita lihat hari ni, kalau boleh, we should work together untuk naikkan Malaysia. I really hope semua pihak, whether it's Rafizi or Pas or Hamza or whoever you are, it's about time we come together as a country and bring us up. Is it here? There you go.
Oh. Okay. This is my favorite part, guys. Watch this.
Finally. There you go. Okay. Thank you, Aris.
Oh!
So this is for. Yeah, I'll put this here. Hold on. Tweet it there. Cap berharap dalam masa 7 hari yang Rose ni masih hidup dan kita boleh berdamai. I really hope that kita boleh berdamai in the spirit of Ramadan. Let's berdamai. Hah? Bangun? Tak, tadi nampak pelik sikit. Kenapa pelik?
Get up.
Oh dear. Okay. So I hope kita boleh berdamai in the spirit of Ramadan. And let's just all cool down. And jom kita sama-sama sebagai pemimpin, sebagai rakyat Malaysia, sebagai agensi kerajaan, jom kita sama-sama rapatkan saf dalam bulan puasa ni dan sama-sama bangkitkan Malaysia. InsyaAllah, guys. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah. So this is what it is, you know. It's kind of interesting to look at right there. He brought roses, bros. He actually brought roses. Can you believe he brought roses? What do we think, Saboops? How are you feeling about the good old-fashioned feud of all that stuff right there? Rafizi, 77% of you are Team Raf. Wow, that's rough for Caprice. Like, I'm sorry, Caprice. Like, that's just really sad, bro. Well, okay, so what are people saying right there? All right, fitnahing. In 2026, we are still doing fitnah politics. Yeah, bro. I mean, like, dude, that's exactly what past does all the time, bro. Like, this is what we're seeing. And he says, yeah, don't drag him into it, make it make sense. Yeah, I mean, like, he literally went out and he made a video and he distributed it to a mass audience.
At one point, I wanted to be like Invoke. You were my idola. Kita ada terima satu maklumat dari seorang whistleblower yang mengatakan Rafizi Ramli ni.
But he just say maklumat, by the way. It's maklumat, bro. Maklumat. Information. Matlamat. Goal. Maklumat. Mak. As in, mak engkau ada ajar kau bagaimana nak cakap BM ke? Anyway, so maklumat.
2 kali 5.
2 kali 5, you are the same.
Let me just break it down to you, Malaysia. Waktu Rafizi Menteri Ekonomi, he oversaw a direct nego punya project awarded to Intramas direct nego. Waktu tu, dia punya CEO is this guy, Mr. Lee Chu-bu. This was the award ceremony. That is you, Menteri Ekonomi, and that is Mr. Lee Chu-bu. The bigger problem here in Malaysia is Mr. Lee Chu-bu ni pernah ada saham dalam syarikat Invoke. Macam mana ni guys? The CEO of Intramas yang dah umum dapat projek beratus juta waktu hang Menteri Ekonomi sebenarnya pernah pegang saham dalam company Invoke. In your company. Mr. Lee Chu-bu pernah pegang saham in your company Invoke. What is going on? Kalau kita buka SSM, Mr. Lee Chu-bu pegang 300,000 saham and you pegang 3.3 juta saham in Invoke. Malaysia, isn't this a conflict of interest? Hang Menteri Ekonomi dan kawan baik.
Isn't this a conflict of interest? Think about that wording for a quick bit. So, like, isn't this a conflict of interest? Now, you might think to yourself that, like, this is like asking the question, right? But in a way, right? So then, like, you can ask a question, right? But, like, it can have, like, a whole range of possible impacts, So, like, let me give you an example, right? Let me give you an example. So, like, let's say that I, like, kind of engage some of you right now and we say right over here to, I don't know, like, Wayla. So, hey, Wayla. So, like, when did you stop taking tin Milo? Or, like, I could say to maybe green tea container, when did you stop beating your wife? Those are questions, right? And I can say to basically any number of politicians out there, when did you stop receiving bribes? Right there. And, like, I'm sure that the context is a little bit different right here, and it's also not what Cap is saying necessarily, right? But I'm just illustrating to you that, like, questions can have certain impacts, right? That maybe you just have to think about a little bit right there.
Hang Mr. Lee Chu-bu pun dapat kontrak. Isn't this a classic conflict of interest? Rafizi Ramli, adakah ini benar? Mr. Lee Chu-bu pernah pegang saham in your company dan dia juga CEO Intramas waktu hang Menteri Ekonomi.
And there you go. That's the feud right in action. By the way, it's interesting for those of you out there who have never heard the term munafik before, right? But munafik is actually a very interesting word, right? Basically, the word munafik, right? Like, it means that a person is a hypocrite, right? It's kind of like a really bad term to use for a lot of people, right? See, look, munafik ialah terminologi Islam bagi individu yang berpura-pura beriman tetapi hatinya kufur atau dikenali sebagai talam dua muka. So this is what it is, right? I don't know what this is right here when the Munafik Hunter themselves is kind of making videos like these for clout. But of course, like, it's debatable, right? Like, you can say that, like, hey, it's in the public interest. What are you doing, Victor Tan? Gosh, like, next thing you know, I'll become like the subject of a Munafik Hunter video at some later point right there. But see, the thing is, right? All I want to say is that when you ask questions, sometimes there can be impacts like way beyond what you think is actually possible. And I do also want to mention a couple of things, right, in response to what Aris, which is totally not Rafizi Sepup, said earlier, right? So, tadi dia cakap, masa you Menteri Economy, right, then is it not a conflict of interest, kan? Okay, so a few things. So, you can listen to Rafizi's point of view on this, right? But it's quite long. We're not going to be watching the entire thing on this show right here. But you can go ahead and watch this video right here. And basically, he is saying that, and what Rafizi is saying, right, is that it's a preference share. All right. So now, a preference share basically doesn't come with voting rights, right? So it's not like equity. It's not like I actually like invest in your company kind of thing. And then basically I will get like some sorts of profits, or I get some ability to like say sway the way that you run things, right? So then Rafizi's argument is basically that, hey, look, like when you say that like, oh, this Li Chubu actually has like shares in Invoke, which is my company right here. So then that is basically suggesting, right, that there is like some element of wrongdoing there, right? When actually that is a completely materially different arrangement. So then it's quite a complicated argument. And basically, you cannot be saying that, hey, just because he has shares, therefore there is this sort of like conflict of interest. You should not be suggesting that, hey, there basically is some element of corruption. Now, of course, in the interest of balance, right? So then Rafizi did say 2.5 billion. It is true that Ariz Ramli Sepup did not say anything about bribery or 2.5 billion. But then the question is, is it actually appropriate for Rafizi to go out there and make that sort of association? But anyway, so we have a couple of y'all out there who have voted yet again. Wow. I have never seen like such an unbalanced poll on this channel before. I have never seen like a 2% for someone right here. Bro, like look at this. Like this is like legendary. 74% Rafizi, 2% Caprice, and 23% neither. We're making history here. We're seriously making history. I mean, like based on this, right? I mean, like of all the 47 people who actually have voted on this right now, like that means basically only one of you voted for Caprice. Like that's just like how it works out mathematically, bros. That's basically just what it is. Nobody believes Caprice. Come on, bros. I mean, like you gotta support the Munafik Hunter. No? Am I wrong? But I'm actually interested to hear, right? Like, like why are some of you out there like team neither? Why are some of you out there team neither? I actually really want to know right about now. And it is basically what it is. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to sort of like contemplate this whole situation right here. And you would have thought actually that they would go out there and like have an epic rap battle. Not this like half Malay, half English, whatever the hell that was right there. It's like meant to be a press conference, like showing flowers to people and saying, oh, we both have the same faith. Do you know? Do not drag me into this bundle politic. Yang is very bad untuk me. Don't drag Caprice to the front. Sort of thing right there. All right. Well, anyway, we have like 51 votes right here. 76% are on Rafizi's side. You have a grand total of neither 22%. Maybe you just don't like Malaysian politics or anything like that. And you have like 2% Caprice. Caprice, bro. Caprice. I'm sorry, but like, Caprice. Caprice! Maybe the guy should go out there and like drop a diss track or something like that. I mean, like, come on. It's true that the fasting month is meant to be a month where like you bring yourself to a time of like greater enlightenment and stuff like that. And hey, for all you know, right? Like maybe dropping a diss track is like exactly what you need at this point. I mean, I don't think that Rafizi or YB Raf, some might call him, is the kind of person who would do like diss tracks kind of thing. But hey, he might feature himself on a young Berhenti Menteri. Maybe you guys can come together and have like a podcast or something like that. Assuming, of course, that you're not gonna be like casually sued out there. But hey, like for all we know, right? Like maybe Cap just really, really wants this to jalan and for the controversy to go on right there. Because again, right, like if you're an influencer, that is off Caprice's level right there. Like I would say, and Cap, if you're listening to this right here, I would say you can feel free to respond to this in the affirmative or in the negative, right? That all attention is good attention when you are in that situation right there. It's kind of like those people who like basically just have like these crazy lives and dramas and like they just want to go out there and get people's eyeballs on them. No matter what the means, no matter how it's done right there, they just want to go ahead and like make sure that everybody is going to be, like part of their reality TV show kind of thing. I don't know. Like I feel that like that is what Cap is basically like, and Rafizi is not that kind of person. This is such an interesting feud, man. Like, I wonder what's going to be happening in the days ahead. I mean, like, I'm sure that it's going to be like very interesting. And for those of you who are still celebrating CNY, I hope that you're going to have a wonderful CNY. So, 希望你拿到很多的红包 and stuff like that. Gosh, I barely open my ang paos nowadays. But hey, again, if for some reason you want to go out there and give me an ang pao or contribute towards my work in some way, shape, or form, I really appreciate it, bros. And thank you so much for the support. And for those of you who are in the middle of Puasa month, I know that is meaningful for you. It's true that not everybody demonstrates some sort of enlightenment, but I feel, even as somebody who is not Muslim, that if you, the person who's watching this right now, you do get some enlightenment, you learn how to be a better human being, like according to your definition, and you can become a better human being for your family, then I'm all for it, So I hope that you enjoy your Puasa month and get the most that you can out of it. And may every single day be like a miniature Lailatul Qadr. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.